on Kiwi. Time to head off to Miami to talk with Jeff Dudas, head of underwatertimes.com, where all the great stories are featured when it involves water from anywhere around the world. G'day, Jeff.
Hey, how you doing, Whammo?
Very good, thanks. And first up, let's talk about the world's smallest aquarium.
And it's quite small, so small it can fit in the palm of your hand. It's about 30 millimeters by 24 high and 14 millimeters deep, which adds up, it holds about 10 milliliters of water, which is about 2 tablespoons.
Okay, so it's like the size of an ice cube, almost.
Just about, and it's a full-fledged tank. This Russian artist, this guy by the name Anatoly Kononenko, designs miniature stuff. He's designed like miniature books, and he's like used a microscope to write onto a rice kernel. And so he just decided to build a fish tank. And so this has, it's made out of glass. It has like pebbles in the bottom and little plants and 2 little fish. And
okay. You just skipped over the 2 little fish bit.
Yeah, 2 little.
What kind of fish are they?
They're little zebrafish.
Right.
And they're just like tiny little baby zebrafish that swim around in it. And he filled it up with a little syringe so it didn't disturb everything. But it's it's a real tank. He's some of these other things. He's an artist, and he sells these things. And some of his other stuff has gone for like 50,000 euros. So he's quite famous. So this may go on the auction block at one point.
Now, animal welfare advocates are always concerned about how fish are kept in people's homes and that their fish bowls are too small. Now, this is obviously too small for these fish.
Right. So eventually the fish would grow up. So yeah, it's pretty impractical for feeding fish and cleaning and all that stuff. But as a work of art, I guess it works.
Yeah, I guess it works for humans, I suppose.
Right.
Let's talk about a deep sea squid.
Yes, researchers. They've been. This is off the coast of California, down in these deep sea subs. We're looking at squid, and they figured out yet another mishap. When you have sex in the dark, and the squid evidently can't tell the difference between a male and a female because it's so dark. And they have real infrequent encounters with each other. So evidently, whoever they just come in contact with, they inject with sperm.
Got to get it on when you can get it on.
Evidently, that's their they say for these squid that instead of figuring out a better way to tell between a male and a female, that their sperm is cheap, so to speak. So they just basically let it go and worry about it later.
Worry about it later.
So they were counting squid. I mean, the way they figured this out, they were down looking at squid, and they figured out which one was a male, which one was a female, and they started looking closer. And basically, they both had the same amount of these sperm sacs attached to them. So they sort of figured it out that hey, it just doesn't matter when it comes to squid.
Squid aren't picky, all right.
No.
From squid now to jellyfish, we really are scraping the bottom of the ocean barrel, aren't we?
There you go. This is out of an aquarium in Queensland. They had a bit of a mystery. They brought in a upside-down jellyfish, and they put it in a tank, and it had been injured. And it evidently lived in this tank for a little bit, then died. And they pulled it out. Then 4 months later, they found 200 baby jellyfish in the tank. And they don't know how this happened because there was just only one jellyfish in that tank, originally. No other, supposedly, and all of a sudden all these little babies showed up. And they think what happened. Well, they have 2 theories. One is evidently jellyfish, if you cut a jellyfish in half, that it'll clone, it'll turn into 2 jellyfish. So they're thinking maybe this injured one had a bunch of, cells or whatever, just sort of got loose in the water and just created a bunch of new jellyfish. Or the other theory is maybe another jellyfish snuck in there and they didn't know about it.
So do jellyfish mate at all?
They have to now. It's a good question. I don't know if they're asexual or what.
Well, do they come? They come from eggs and whatnot. Jellyfish.
Babies, they have to. That's a good approach. Someone out there shooting the radio, but
What are you talking about? They come from space.
Of course. Yeah, right. It's a good question. You stumped me on that one.
Jellyfish, man, they're weird. Well, we're going to get used to them, of course, because that's all we're going to have in the ocean soon, jellyfish.
Evidently, they're taking over everywhere. I read these stories. They're, all over the world. There's more and more jellyfish and various reasons, but evidently we're fishing out the predators. And,
we need to get used to eating them. Apparently not too bad. You eat the right ones.
I've never had one, so I'm trying to stay away from it.
Likewise, until we absolutely have to.
Right.
Well, excellent. Those stories, of course, you'll find up at underwatertimes.com. A whole lot more up there as well. Well worth checking out. And Jeff has been joining us in Miami. Thanks very much, Jeff.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Time now.